Yesterday, reporters asked me if I thought President Putin was smart. I said, of course he's smart.
Do you respect Putin?
I do respect him.
Do you?
Have you ever wondered if everything you've heard about Vladimir Putin's wealth is just a distraction? The golden palaces, the $100 million yachts, the luxury watches worth more than most homes. That's the part they want you to see, because behind the headlines is something way darker. They say he's worth $300 to $500 billion, but that's just what leaks out. The real story? It's hidden behind a maze of secret accounts, shell companies, and loyal allies who take those secrets to the grave. He doesn't just own wealth, he controls the entire system. We're talking about one man who can move oil markets with a phone call, who flies in jets that aren't in his name, who lives in estates guarded by armies, yet officially owns nothing. And the most shocking part? It's all legal in the empire he built. So how did Putin go from a poor Soviet spy to possibly the richest shadow ruler in the world? Who helped him do it? And how much of Russia's wealth is actually just his? Stick around, because by the time we hit the end of this video, you won't look at power the same again. This isn't a story about money. It's about control on a level the world rarely sees, and you're about to step inside it. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos about luxury and secret power like this. Let's dive in. One of the most jaw-dropping symbols of Vladimir Putin's rumored hidden fortune is a colossal estate tucked away on Russia's Black Sea coast, known to the world as Putin's Palace. This isn't just a luxurious home, it's a full-blown kingdom built in secrecy. Perched near the resort town of Gelendzhik, the palace is a monstrous Italian-style mega-mansion said to span over 190,000 square feet, with an estimated price tag of $1.35 billion. And trust, every inch of this place screams wealth. From the outside, it looks like a presidential retreat, but step inside, or at least peek through leaked footage, and it becomes clear this place was built for an emperor. There's a private theater, a high-end casino, a full spa complex, wine tasting rooms, marble floors, Italian furniture, and a massive indoor swimming pool. That's just scratching the surface. Beneath the palace, an underground tunnel system, a secret escape route, and even an aqua disco. Yes, a water-themed nightclub hidden under the estate. Let that sink in. Surrounding the estate is a vast private vineyard, helicopter pads, and its own church. And it doesn't stop there. Adjacent to the palace are barracks for security, border guards stationed on site, and a private security perimeter complete with no-fly zones and naval restrictions offshore. It's locked down tighter than most military bases. Putin has denied any connection to the property, but multiple investigations and financial leaks have traced ownership through a maze of shell companies and close allies, businessmen, former KGB colleagues, and state-linked corporations. All paths lead back to his inner circle. One of his childhood friends and judo partners, now a billionaire, even claimed to own the place. But no one really bought that explanation. Whether Putin legally owns it or not, this palace reflects something deeper: unchecked power, total secrecy, and a system designed to enrich those at the top while keeping the truth buried underground. Literally. In the shadow of sanctions, propaganda, and political games, Putin's palace stands tall as a concrete symbol of luxury that most Russians can't even imagine, let alone question. Vladimir Putin's rumored fortune doesn't just sit in marble-floored palaces or behind gold-plated gates. A massive chunk of it is hidden in plain sight, spread across a shadowy web of offshore accounts, shell corporations, and proxies that stretch far beyond Russia's borders. While Putin officially claims to earn a modest presidential salary and hold little personal property, countless investigations suggest a much different reality. Through a tangled maze of financial entities registered in places like the British Virgin Islands and Panama, Putin's inner circle has quietly funneled and stored billions. Leaked documents and intelligence reports have traced large cash movements, loans, investments, and asset transfers totaling over $2 billion. These transactions don't show Putin's name on paper, but they involve close friends, old colleagues from the KGB, and trusted allies who've become billionaires overnight. Coincidence? Not likely. At the center of this offshore empire are a handful of key associates who act as gatekeepers to the cash, musicians, bankers, businessmen, each holding puzzle pieces that, when put together, paint the picture of an incredibly powerful man with financial influence spanning the globe. The reason for the secrecy? Shielding wealth from scrutiny, avoiding sanctions, and, more importantly, maintaining the illusion of modesty in front of the Russian public. These offshore networks not only hold wealth, but also control luxury properties abroad, super yachts, and even private equity in foreign companies. The complexity of the system is deliberate, layer after layer of legal smokescreens that make it nearly impossible to trace directly to Putin himself. But the evidence is there, hiding behind closed doors and encrypted accounts. What it reveals is chilling: a global financial empire built in silence, protected by fear, and maintained through absolute loyalty. Vladimir Putin's hidden wealth isn't just about offshore accounts and secret real estate. It's reflected in the ultra-luxurious lifestyle he's allegedly been living behind closed doors for years. From multi-million-dollar timepieces to a personal super yacht that rivals those of tech moguls, Putin's access to opulence is staggering, even though none of it is officially registered in his name. Let's start with his watch collection. Analysts and journalists have documented Putin wearing at least 11 luxury watches, with an estimated total value exceeding $700,000. These aren't subtle pieces either. They include a $500,000 Patek Philippe perpetual calendar, a Breguet Marine, and a Blancpain Grande Date, all brands associated with high society elites. That's a lifetime of presidential salaries on his wrist alone. But it doesn't stop there. Putin has also been linked to an extensive collection of luxury vehicles, from custom Mercedes-Maybach limousines to armored SUVs and rare sports cars. His transportation network even includes private jets like the Ilyushin Il-96-300 PU, a plane outfitted with a gold-trimmed interior, luxurious meeting rooms, and a full-sized bedroom, often dubbed the Flying Kremlin. Then there's the crown jewel of his rumored assets, the $700 million super yacht Graceful, outfitted with its own indoor pool, helipad, spa, and a ballroom. This yacht is a floating palace. Originally built in Germany and reportedly retrofitted in Russian yards, Graceful has been tracked cruising in European waters under tight security, with all ownership trails leading back to shell companies tied to Putin's close allies. While the Kremlin denies that any of these belong to him, the pattern is clear: high-value luxury items, hidden through proxies, building the lifestyle of a man whose real power is matched only by his ability to conceal the fortune behind it. One of the key mechanisms behind Vladimir Putin's alleged wealth isn't offshore bank accounts or billion-dollar estates. It's people, a tight-knit circle of loyal insiders, handpicked from his days in the KGB or early political rise, form the core of a shadowy network that appears to manage and shield his assets from public view. These individuals don't just serve the Kremlin, they serve the man behind the curtain. Take the LLC Invest Network, a web of over 85 obscure companies and non-profits, quietly managing an estimated $4.5 billion in assets. This isn't just a business group, it's a fortress of wealth hiding in plain sight. Properties, luxury transport, and private enterprises have all been linked back to this network. Yet, almost none of it is held in Putin's name. Instead, assets are conveniently registered under childhood friends, former judo partners, distant relatives, and ultra-loyal oligarchs, people who owe everything to Putin and would never cross him. Despite over 2 decades of scrutiny, the true scale of Vladimir Putin's fortune remains one of the greatest mysteries in modern politics. And that's no accident. His wealth isn't listed in bank accounts or stock portfolios. It's buried in a maze of offshore accounts, shell companies, and assets held by trusted insiders, friends, family, ex-KGB operatives, each acting as a human vault. This isn't a paper trail, it's a ghost trail. Leaks like the Panama and Pandora papers have revealed fragments of the empire: 1.4 billion palaces, mega yachts with no listed owners, luxury properties across Europe, all connected to Putin's inner circle. Russia's financial system helps keep the secrets sealed, while independent journalists who dig too deep often vanish from the conversation, sometimes permanently. Experts estimate his hidden fortune could reach $200 billion. That would make him richer than the world's biggest tech billionaires, without ever building a company. But this isn't about luxury for show. It's about control, power, security. Every hidden estate, every armored limo, every offshore account is part of a larger machine designed to protect the man behind it all. He doesn't need ownership on paper. He owns the system, and that's what makes it dangerous. So next time you see Putin speaking of sacrifice and patriotism, remember, dictators don't need thrones when they control the palace. If this opened your eyes, like, subscribe, and drop a comment, because this is just the beginning. We're pulling back the curtain on the world's most powerful elites, one billionaire at a time.